Okay, so I've showed you guys how to do a cake without the fondant. This cake is covered in fondant, and I'm gonna cover it with edible money. So I did do one video on my tutorial where I used no fondant, but this one I'm going to use fondant because fondant is a little better when you cover your cakes with edible images, because after the cake gets room temperature, it will start to bubble a little if you handle it the wrong way, or so fondant, you don't have to worry about any of those issues. Okay, so what I did is the same technique. I just went around with piping gel, and I love to use these little brushes, and then I just went across the top same way, a little bit across the top, because I'm just gonna fold it right there. In this cake, I am able to use my creativity. So it was all left up to me how I wanted to design the cake. But the main issue was she loved money. Okay, so I do cakes with pink, blue, all different colors of money. So I decided with this cake to go with the regular color money. And what I'm gonna do is just go around the cake. I'm sorry, my other video I had music playing, so you couldn't really hear. I had to mute the auto on it, so I had a lot of people asking why couldn't they hear, and that is the reason. As you know, YouTube, you can't have any music playing if it's not their music or a certain type of music. And I love Christian music, and I usually listen to it as I work, so that's why. All right, so I'm just gonna go around, and it's best, even if it's your cake, to use gloves, because with the edible image, well, the edible design, and with the edible ink, any little wet thing that touches it smears it. So you have to be very careful and make sure your hands stay clean, and any kind of like moisture will smear the ink. And that's another way you can tell that the ink is edible, because any little wet thing that touches it will smear it. So when you go across it with your scraper, make sure that it's clean, or it will smear it. All right, the other one. And we're just gonna take the next one and go right across where we ended the last one. And I'll turn it this way so you can see exactly where I'll start. And just try to match it up as best as you can, so you don't see that line right there where you're starting. Alright, and you're just gonna do the same thing. You see how I matched it up where you can't see that lining? Or that line from the, I have to keep checking my gloves to make sure I don't have any piping gel from the cake on it. So I like to use my scraper a lot because they get the air bubbles to make sure that it's flat on the cake and no air bubbles. So as you're pressing along, And then I just like to take my end of my glove and just go across the back end to make sure, because you don't want to use your striper because you don't want to get the paper on it. But I can see with my glove that I'm not hitting the edge, but I still like to wipe it to make sure no piping gel from the cake is on there. Scrape one more time. To me, you can't scrape enough because you don't want any air bubbles in it. All right, next one. Y'all, my daughter just turned 21 about a week ago, and I was not able to do her a cake. Like, I've been waiting all these years to do a 21st birthday cake for one of my kids. And so I started school, and I started a new brand, a new pajama brand. I think I want to go with this end first. And so I had so much schoolwork, guys. I could not push in time. I did push in time to be able to do her a little dinner, but I was not able to make a cake. Like, I've got to. And then she broke a foot, a bone in her foot, like a couple of days after her birthday. So she like, I'm gonna have to, all right, you see where I started right here? So she's like, I'm gonna have to still celebrate after my foot healed. So I'm like, okay. So hopefully she's still celebrating after her foot healed, but she just went to the doctor yesterday and they just gave her a boot. She was on crutches and had put herself in a wheelchair of my other child that she had when she had hip surgery. Yes, like, the girl's been, these kids. But anyhow, so I just did the same thing there. You see that line where I started? But once I fold the top, you won't really be able to see that line. But I am so ready to do a 21st birthday cake. And I know it's been, like, her birthday was on, it's been about 2 weeks. Her birthday was on the 28th of June. So, but she didn't celebrate till that weekend, but we did something. I did a dinner for her birthday. And, yeah, so, but hopefully I get to make her a cake for her birthday. And then I have another one, birthday Wednesday, turning 12. So I'm gotta make time to make that cake. I have another one in November. So yeah, I get to make a lot of birthday cakes. But this year, school, like, oh my God. I'm going for theology, which it's usually a 4-year degree, but with my other medical assistant degree, it took a year off, so that helped. But you know, universities are so much different than some colleges. But it's like, oh my God, they pound us down with so many works. I mean, so much work. Sometimes I do, or most of the time I do at least about 6-7 papers a week, plus exams, and yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so as you can see, we have ended. So now what I'm gonna do is just cut where that part has ended and put some piping gel right there. And I'm gonna try to cut straight down from here. You can use a razor blade, but most of the time I'm pretty accurate with the cutting. And yes, so what I'm gonna do now is just take a little bit of piping gel where it ended, and I want that to, I'm gonna put it on the back of here because I don't want that other to smear if I put it on there. So and then including trying to, now we're just gonna press, get this, my clothing line off the ground. Like, I've had a lot going on. And we are done with that part. And that is covering the outside. So what I'm gonna do now is go around and cut little slits all the way down. All right, and then I'm gonna start folding. Just fold it straight down and go across. And you can also do it like if you want to just do the round piece without cutting it like this, you can take one of your sheets, take an 8-inch cake board, put it on the back of that sheet, and make the top part where you have a round piece that fits on top, and you don't have the folding. I need a little bit more piping gel. But with all the decorations I have, you're not gonna be able to see this. But I am so excited because, like, oh my God, I get to use my creativity with this. And my kids had got so used to getting a cake every year, like they was to the point where they didn't even know what kind. And then the one that just turned 21, she don't even eat cake. So I usually just make her a cake just to go with her outfit or whatever, just to take pictures with. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna still celebrate and take pictures when her foot heals. She's gonna be celebrating all month. Like, she feel like it's her birthday all month, for a whole month. So, but it's nothing like that day. Like, I really did. I hate so bad. Like, I always wanted to make a 21st birthday cake. And it's crazy how you have plans and it just doesn't turn out the way that you planned it. But that's why God tells us not to plan. Take it day by day, because we never know what's gonna happen. All right, and you see how I'm just folding that down? And this technique is very, very easy. It's very good for beginners. I would recommend this technique for beginners instead of cutting the round piece to go on the top. If like you're fresh with the edible images. And if y'all would like me to do a video on how to cover a cake with fondant, just comment below and let me know. And I would definitely do one for you guys without any tears. And because, you know, covering a cake with fondant is not easy. But once you learn it, and I've learned a few things over the years that makes it a lot easier that I didn't know before, that people don't tell. Like, people, they don't tell you everything some people, but I had to learn a lot on my own that I didn't learn from, like, other people, YouTube, or other, well, that's the only, I just basically just taught myself how to do cakes. I just basically looked and just practiced, and it just came to me just naturally. But I guess that's when you consider it a gift. All right, 3 more left. That one down. And the last one. The last one, you see you have no space, so I'm gonna put some piping gel there to make sure it sticks. And you see how it's wet right there, how it smears a little? That's how I was saying, like, edible ink does smear. And if you have another cake to go on top, you're not gonna see that part.
Here's your reminder from my daily mindset.
Listen to my Alexa.
Don't forget to build your practice with a new affirmation.
Like, I love affirmations. I hope y'all do affirmations.
Don't forget to build your
But I'm
practice
sorry,
with
my
a new
Alexa went off.
affirmation.
It used to go off at the same time every day, but I forgot. Okay, so, and there we go. So now it's time for me to decorate this baby. And I'm going to get all of my designs that I have and show you guys how I'm gonna decorate her. I'm gonna call her. All right. Okay, so here are all my designs that I came up with. Since money was the main thing, I said, okay, so let me do some designs that has everything to do with money. So that's why I like to be creative when I get to, well, that's why I like to get customers that I can be creative with. All right, so what I did was roll out the fondant, and then I took my edible image and put it on top. And now I'm just gonna cut it out of the fondant. And you're just basically just cutting out the design. Just tracing it. Because if you stick it on there without the fondant, it depends on the design of the cake. Like if it's going on top of some icing or something, it would be okay without the fondant, but the fondant makes it where it doesn't, the design doesn't, the ink doesn't run through. Because once the ink sits in the icing or on icing, the ink starts to show like water prints. Okay, and I want to get as closest as I can with this. But I don't want to get too close where the fondant is not covering the picture. You want a pretty good sharp knife, because if you don't, it'll be like rigged ends. But once I get my now, what I'm gonna do is add it to the cake. And I also made a custom happy birthday cake topper. So, finna just think as I go. And I also have some diamond ribbon that I need to cut to go on there. Always want to keep your fondant covered. It will dry out very quickly. So what I'm gonna do, take my scissors and, okay, I was trying to see. And I'm just gonna do probably, cut in between here where I want it. So I'm gonna start adding my decorations. But first, I'll move this stuff out of the way. Louis Vuitton debit card. And got another Platinum VIP Queen. Cord. Then we got our baddies with the money on the ear. Or to the ear. Right there. So I think I'm gonna add her first and then go around the cake with the diamond. Oh, it's baby heavy. Okay. I'm gonna have to move y'all up a little bit because I'm gonna switch up everything. Okay. I'm sorry about that. All right, so I am just going to go around, make sure my fondant on the outline is good. And then I'm going to add, make sure nothing's on the back of my glove. I'm going to add some piping gel. Okay, where the front of my cake is gonna be. I am going to make her right here. And turn around so I can see. Just gonna place her where I want her to be. Make sure my glove is clean. Press her on there to make sure she doesn't slide. Make sure she's on there really well. That's good. So now, I always like to go ahead and put my happy birthday banner on there so I can work around it. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn it to y'all in a minute, but I have to make sure I'm in the middle. And I'm just gonna go all the way down to the letters. All right, so now I am just about to go around with the diamonds. And I'm just gonna go close around the bottom and just make sure you only go where the decoration is going, because this will smear your decoration, your edible image. So now I'm gonna go with my diamonds. I'm just gonna place them where I want them to be. And then I'm going to cut up. Trying to see how that's gonna look. Alright, so I just want to get where I want that design to be, or the diamonds to be. I'm trying not to touch anywhere else. And just pull in lightly as you go around. And back on here. Cut. Alright. There. Okay. That's how it looks so far. Now, what I'm gonna do, just to add a little more detailing to it, I am going to add some diamonds to this part where the money is at. And sometimes when a customer order a cake, really the pricing is really hard to decide, especially when you customizing it. Well, you're being creative and you can do what you want to do, because most of the time you end up doing more than what you plan on doing. Just want to press that on there good. As it sit and dry, it get harder. So you see how that made that picture pop. All right, and I'm trying to see what else I want to add.